right, as the wildfires continue to rage all across Los Angeles County, tens of thousands of Californians, they have now been forced to evacuate their homes. On Monday, friend of this program, Jillian Michaels, was in L.A. helping her elderly mother evacuate. And back in 2018, she lost her home due to a fire in California. And the home she sold in 2021 also burned down last night. So both homes Jillian owned when she was a Californian burned down within 5 years, and she had to rescue her kids. She has been an outspoken critic of Gavin Newsom and his policies. She is calling on the governor to resign for his leadership failures during the disaster. She put up a post on X today that said, resign. Anyway, she's the host of Keeping It Real. Our friend Jillian Michaels was so sorry about everything you're going through. Number one. Number two, to me, this is so preventable. I know you were out in L.A. taking care of your elderly mom, and you had to evacuate her, your kids. I mean, this all just came down on you really quickly. What happened?
It's continuing to come down, actually, Sean. I've just been on the phone with my wife. I relocated my mom. My wife stayed with her to West Hollywood. A fire just broke out in Runyon Canyon. My kids were relocated with my co-parent to Altadena. The house they went to just burned down. And I'm sorry, I do not mean to make this political, but at the end of the day, this has been so grossly mismanaged with regard to forestry and the water reserves in California that it should be criminal. I am absolutely outraged. I have friends losing their homes. People are running for their lives. They're begging for water. It's disgusting. And we do know that, yes, of course, California has a problem with wildfires. We have the Santa Ana winds. There is dry brush, but ultimately you can mitigate this situation with far better management of forestry and water reserves and better preparedness. Gavin Newsom knew about this on Sunday. He said so in his own press conference. And yet the National Guard was called in, what, a few hours ago? How many people have been evacuated?
Well,
Several people have lost their lives. I'm sorry. I'm so mad. I'm outraged for people.
You should be. I mean, all right, before you moved to Florida, did you ever see controlled burns, knowing that this has always been a possibility out there? Did you ever see the dry brush removed? Did you ever think that they would run out of water and that the mayor would come back from Ghana and have nothing to say to the people of Los Angeles?
Let me outline this for you. I grew up in California. We did controlled burns. And then somewhere after the early 2000s, they slowed down and ultimately they came to a stop because people didn't like them. They could potentially get out of control. They create poor air quality. But here's the thing. Haven't we learned already that controlling a burn and having it potentially get out of bounds is far less dangerous than what we're seeing right now and what we saw just a few months ago when northern Malibu burned down, what we saw in 2018, what we see year after year after year. And if you want to talk about the water, where do we even begin? How about the fact that in 2014, Californians voted on Proposition 1, and they put billions toward creating new water reservoirs. Not one of those has been completed in a decade, not one. Or how about the fact that billions, hundreds of billions of dollars go to big ag, one family in particular that has a big farm for pistachios and almonds. They take tens, hundreds, literally hundreds of billions of dollars. And, of course, they donate to Gavin Newsom's campaign. Or how about PG&E being neglectful in 2018 and being responsible for the Camp Fire that burned my house down? Donate to Gavin Newsom's campaign. We're not held accountable. The list goes on and on and on. Why weren't the reservoirs filled? Why weren't the new reservoirs that were ordered in 2014, why weren't they built? How come all of the water is going to big ag? And then you've got people literally up in arms about the fact that we're diverting water because of an ecological issue.
They're putting it in the ocean. They're putting it in the ocean.
It needs to be redirected to urban areas. And listen, I appreciate the need to protect the environment, but when people are losing their lives and their homes, I think you need to reassess your priorities.